Siri, teach me a magic trick.
Okay, I can teach you how to make a bandana disappear. You'll need a handkerchief, a banana, and a woman's purse. When you have those items handy, push the home button and say, ready.
By pure coincidence, I just happen to have bananas and handkerchiefs right here. Proof to you doubters that I am indeed telepathic. But I do need to borrow a woman's purse. Normally I would come around looking at them. I can hardly even see. Anybody got a purse I can use down here? Sure, that would work. Oh, it's kind of a satchel. It's okay. I can borrow it? Where are you from? Okay, everybody pass your wallets and jewelry this way. Trust me, I'm a magician. Can they see the inside of it? Yeah. This will be the purse, and I have a banana and a handkerchief. Ready.
Great. Lay the purse on a table while holding the handkerchief in your right hand. The bandana should be in your left hand. Put the handkerchief in your right pocket, leaving the bandana in your left hand. Now fold the bandana in half. Go ahead. Fold it in half. Now, fold it in half again. Now, secretly take the folded bandana and hide it in your left hand. Be sure to keep your hand in a natural position. This is called palming. Now that you've mastered palming, we are ready to begin. Open up the folded bandana and greet the audience by waving it up and down. This is called misdirection. While people are distracted by the waving bandana, you'll be able to secretly do the trick with your other hand. But first, to prove it's a real bandana, let a member of the audience wipe his face with it. Or, you can let someone blow his nose in it. Now take the handkerchief out of your pocket and wave it up and down as you did before. While you're doing this, fold up the bandana and put it in the purse. Don't stop waving the bandana. This is how you misdirect the audience. Now, close the purse firmly around the handkerchief. What the audience doesn't know is that you misdirected them. You never put anything in the purse at all. That's right. You've kept the bandana hidden in your left hand all along. Remember palming? Be sure to keep your hand in a natural position. It's finally time to use that banana. Pick up the banana from the table, secretly dropping the handkerchief behind the table as you do. Wave the banana over the purse like a magic wand. Bananas are funny and this will make the audience laugh. Be sure to make a magical gesture with your hand. Now, fling the purse open and wait for your well-deserved response.
Now, some of you are wondering how I did that. All of you are wondering why I did that. It's an object lesson to illustrate a very important point, and that is that you and I have something in common. We all became illusionists as very small children. In fact, psychologists tell us that the faulty perceptions of the world that we all drag with us through adult life to cripple our creativity, paralyze our potential, limit our sales, impede our progress, drain our lives of joy were generally formed in our minds by about the age of 6. When I was about 6 years old, one day I innocently left several unwrapped Hershey Kisses on the dashboard of my mother's car on a hot summer day. We came back an hour or two later to find they had melted all down the dashboard and into the carpet. I have a question for you. What was it about my mother's car that made the chocolate melt? What made it melt? What? Magic. No, not magic. Teacher's pet, teacher's pet. No one. Nobody wants to answer? What? Heat? Wrong answer. We have some nice party gifts for you. It's a lifetime supply of Lee press-on nails. Tell us about them, Johnny. No, it's actually my book, Megatudes, on the 12 most important attitudes you can carry in your head. So important, I call them Megatudes. It's all yours because you were wrong. Would you mind passing that back to her, please? Thank you so much. It's not the heat. I'm going to prove it to you. Let's suppose that instead of heating some lumps of chocolate to 140 degrees for 1 hour, we instead took some lumps of clay, put them in a kiln, and heated them to 2,000 degrees for 8 hours. What would happen to them? They would harden. Don't ever allow yourself to believe it is a heat applied to you by your boss or by the students or by their parents or by government regulations or by paperwork or by your workload that causes you to melt. Heat can't do that. The only thing heat can do is reveal the stuff of which you are made, which is great news. Do you know why? Because unlike the lumps of chocolate and the lumps of clay, you and I as human beings have the high privilege and the incontrovertible right of choosing the stuff of which we are made. We do that every single day of our lives by exercising our right as human beings to choose our attitude. Let me tell you what I think is the most important question you will ever answer. It is this: is the glass half full or half empty? And here's the answer. It's entirely up to you. To me, that's the most wonderful fact of life, that no one on this planet but you can answer this question for you. And the way that you choose to answer will determine more than any other factor in life how happy you become, and more than most, how successful. This is the great equalizer of life, but listen carefully. It is the eternal law of life, that if you choose to get up every day with your head in the wrong place and say, my glass is half empty, it will get emptier. The consequence of a negative attitude is that you'll attract bad things and bad people to yourself, and over the course of your lifetime, you will drain your glass to the dregs of all of the joy that you otherwise could have known. You'll find a very troubling process at work in your soul. Not only will your glass grow emptier, it will also grow smaller. As year by year and decade by decade, you find yourself paying the compounded interest on a life lived with a sour, negative outlook. But the converse is also true. If you choose to get up every day with your head in the right place and say, my glass is half full, it will get fuller. When you have a great attitude, you attract good things and good people to yourself, and over the course of your lifetime, you fill your glass to overflowing with all of the joy that life can contain. And you'll find a very wonderful process at work in your life. Your glass will grow larger. Okay, last time, this is your brain. What, they don't have that commercial in Kentucky? This is your brain on a bad attitude. And this is your brain on a good one. But let one negative thought creep into your mind and find the home there, and the process will begin all over again. Let it find fertile soil and send deep roots into your psyche, and your glass will drain again. The only way to make it stop draining is to say, my glass is half full. And so you're left with life's most important question: is the glass half full or half empty? And the answer is up to you. Thank you.